Hello everyone, welcome to Doc's Custom Corner. Hope you're all enjoying your evening tonight. Kind of thawing out here in the Midwest. Had a high of 33 today. Kind of nice. Snow's melting a little bit. All is good. Now I know what you're looking at here. I'm a little late in all this. Daytona 500 was last weekend, and for those of you that don't know, I've been a big Dale Earnhardt fan all my life. And he was lost quite a few years ago. But I just wanted to kind of pull this one out to kind of pay respects to him tonight. And yet this one has just a little bit of a twist to it. Years ago, we'll get to that other one here in a couple minutes. My son, who may be watching or probably is watching, he'll know where this is going as soon as I bring the other car back into the photo here, or into the screen. The four cars in front of me, or in front of you, two of the cars were built by me, two of the cars were not. The black one here on the end, the typical one that everybody saw Dale Earnhardt in, was I built this one years ago. Recently here in the last 3 months, I think it was, I finished up the Bass Pro Shop. This car was built by me. The other two, however, were not. The other two were bought. This car was the Sam Bass Pro Shop car here, was not an easy one to find, let alone decal work on it. At the time, I really didn't feel like I wanted to try it and mess it up. So I had bought this one off of eBay. A fellow on there built it. I forget who I got this car in the Gray Ghost from, but the Bass Pro Shop car, I had a bout of bad luck with the decals on this, as I'm sure a lot of people probably have. The decals on this are aftermarket because the kit decals always disintegrated when they hit water. I tried 3 different sheets of decal of the kit and had the same issue with all of them. So I ended up going aftermarket. A fellow on one of my model car farms actually had the decal sheet, and I got it from him. But the roof decal is actual one of the kit decals. That was the only decal I was actually able to pull off the sheet and make work. Everything else is aftermarket. There's also an aftermarket set as far as the chin, the air dams, the vents in the front. These 2 rectangle ones are off an aftermarket sheet. The RCR and then the number 3 are also off of a different sheet as well to make it match the real true car. You can't get the hood open. But everything for the most part was detailed as far as the colors that the car should be, or the real car was. Tail end of it. I don't rough shot. This one had a little bit of a booger, whatever you want to call it, on the decal sheet, or it didn't come out right. But for the most part, I'm happy with it. It's just a shelf model anyway. Just one of my few builds of Dale Earnhardt's. Like I say, this is the one you most typically saw him in driving, the black number 3. I want to say this is a 2000-2001 series car. Just built pretty much like all these NASCAR kits are pretty common, pretty simple as far as building. Chassis are pretty much all the same, just the decal work and paint on them are all different. And there was some of these I kept them to where you can lift the body off, to where you can see the inner side of them, but yeah, I'm not going to try it right now. But that's that one. And as I said on this one, I did not build this one. This is not one that I did. But I've always liked the Gray Ghost. The Gray Ghost has always been one of the cars of his that really stood out the most to me, just the way it looked. The silver with the red numbers and red livery markings on it and such. Just always really stood out as a cool looking car to me. And I was able years ago, along with my son went with me, and we were able to see the black car the number 3, the Gray Ghost, the Bass Pro Shop car, the Wheaties car, and the Tasmanian car, the red with white markings on it. The speed shop had all 5 of those cars on display one time. We were able to actually go see them and get pictures taken of them. And when I built the Bass Pro Shop car, I used those photos to build that car to kind of get it as close as that car as I could. I don't remember what car or what race that car was ran in, because I know that one other race that he raced that car and he destroyed the car in one of the laps on the race. But Gray Ghost was built, a friend of mine, guy back then, probably 25 years ago, built this one for me. I bought it from him, or paid to have him do it, rather, however you want to say it. Built pretty much right out of the box. And this car was, along with the Gray Ghost, was always one of my more favorite cars. Just the colors of it. I'm pretty sure Sam Bass is the one that penned the design, the illustration of the car, put all the colors together. And from what I was always understood, that all the colors that are on this car are colors of all the cars that he raced up to this point. You get the red from the Taz car, the pink from his very first ever race car that he raced in, the blue, the yellows from the Wrangler years, so on and so forth down through the car. Again, this car was not built by me. It was just too cool of a car, and I saw one on eBay at one time, and it was at a decent price, so pulled the trigger and I bought it and got it, and here it is. I think this was like a 2001, 2002 Monte Carlo, if I remember right. Looking at the headlights on the front of it, looks like it's the newer Monte Carlo. And this one, I think the body does come off on this one. This particular year era of model cars had a little bit more detail to them, added to them prior to the 2000 era Monte Carlos. Just the kit in general, Revell put a little bit more modern touch to them, if you will, as the NASCAR updated everything. Different exhaust, dump that you see here was added to it. Oil pan's different. I want to say suspension pretty much is all about the same. But there's a few little minor touches in them over the years as NASCAR changed their ruling and safety standards on the cars, and air cleaner was a little different, and everything else looks pretty much the same. So now, where I was going with all this, the car that I had in the lead intro of the video here, which I'm going to be bringing in here in a second, was built years ago. I've always been an Earnhardt fan, and my son, I know where this is going to go, and I'm sorry guys, but he was a Jeff Gordon fan years ago. So he asked me a question one day during one of the races, and it got me to thinking. He was like, what if Jeff Gordon and Dale Earnhardt both came across the line exactly together? I mean, so close that the camera could not define who the winner was. Would they consider it a tie? I'm like, that's a good question. Well, that got me to thinking. What happened if they did? What would the outcome be? How would you put that into a model? So it got me to thinking, and this is what I came up with. I'm going to try keeping the other side not visible for a minute, but I call this car Split Decisions. This car has been pictured in Scale Auto Yearly Magazine, I think it is. Not within the last couple of years, I believe. But the other side, I'm going to take it out of frame a minute, and I'm going to bring it right back down, was done for my son's driver. I've dubbed this car Split Decisions as what would happen if both drivers would come across the line at the very same time on race day. And this is what I came up with. 2 sets of decals, both sets of decals split evenly down the middle. The different names of Monte Carlo across the front, the air dams on the nose, even the grill work in the center grill up and through here are different. all the way down to the underside of the car. The paint is all split. Now, if you think this took a little time and thinking to pull this together, you'd be right. This is the roof. I'll try to get it to where the lights don't glare off of it. But the decal sets were cut perfectly in half, and I still have the other sets of decals the opposite of this, because I always wanted to build the car opposite of this, with Jeff Gordon on the driver's side and Dale Earnhardt on the right, on the passenger. One of these days I need to finish it and actually sit down and do it. But this is just a cool idea that I came up with. My son, he really got a kick out of the idea of it. And that's what it pretty much came to be. As you can tell on the inside, the interior is the same way. This is one I did leave the body to where it come off of. But you want to talk about a chore and a task of taping off and painting, this was it. This will test your patience to tape it off and whatever else, but inside of the body's painted the same way. But everybody gets a kick out of seeing this at different shows and stuff that I take it to. I've never entered it in a actual contest to try to win anything with it. I just take it to like an NNL type show just to show it off and let people see it and kind of smile about it and ask questions. Well, why? You know. Then when I tell them the story as to why it came about, then they're like, oh, I get it now. That's pretty cool. All right. But anyway, that's it for the night on that one. I'm going to get another video out here tonight, or get it prepped and ready for, get it out, whatever. Thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate all of you who have subscribed to the channel. It really helps me kind of give me some bearing on if this is going the right way or not. Kind of nice to have that and such. But if you do watch the video tonight, click like, click the subscribe button, and click the notification bell up top. That way you know when new stuff comes out. And appreciate having you all along for the ride. We'll see you at the corner. Take care, everyone. Just a little added note, forgot to add this in here. Years ago, back in the 1998 Winston Select race, Jeff Gordon ran out of gas on the very last lap, and I did this just kind of a play to kind of egg my son on. He was little then, he's not now, but this is just kind of my little kind of poke at him, just to kind of say, haha. But I know Earnhardt's lost a lot of races last lap kind of thing. All the years of Daytona 500 trying to win it was kind of a prime example at such, but can't help but kind of poke my son a little bit, just kind of say, you know, kind of thing. But anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. Take care. Good night.